Alrighty. What is up, people? We're getting started here today. Glad to have you guys in here as we're in for episode 11 of What's in Your Portfolio as I go over what's in my portfolio. Before we get going, let's just go over some of the housekeeping. So, this is Simply Investing. My name is Sal. Cody will be on in a few moments. We go over all things crypto, stocks, real estate, business, anything that's involved. We also go over any investment strategies that we're planning on and what we're dumping and picking up on our portfolios. As always, like and subscribe. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. Really appreciate your guys' support. And if we can get some likes and follows, that'd be really great. And also share it because we want to get as many people in here. As always, this is an open forum. So if you do want to join live, just hit us up in the chat, and we can see if we can send you that link if you want to give your thoughts on. Also, if you guys want to, definitely want to give out a little bit more support and get some more exclusive content, you can join our Patreon. And link is in the bio and the description for you guys. With
What
that
is
said,
up?
we're going to get started here. It's already got someone in there. Shout out to Break A 214. Hope your day is going well too. My day is going great. We're at it for another day, despite taking some minor losses. But other than that, we're doing good. So hopefully we can have some good topics to talk about there for you. And I'm going to put the link to join in on the chat and YouTube if you want to switch over there and join us live on YouTube. So how's it going, Cody? Cody's finally in here, and we're going to get started. So I know there's a lot.
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Doing great. And I know there's a lot of craziness going on. People are dumping XRP right now because of
Appeal
the
scare.
fear of the appeal. Although, even though they said the intent is they have intent, I don't think they're going to do it. If not,
Yeah.
it may happen a year down the road. But if they keep doing it and keep pushing the price down, personally, I think it's another way that they're trying to suppress the price of XRP.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just keep dollar cost averaging in. Although, like I said last week, I'm not buying anything at the moment. I'm just kind of storing my cash on the side, waiting for that good time to buy in on some good
Yeah.
dips.
I've been buying up Ethereum and stuff. That's what I've been dollar cost averaging into. Yesterday, I actually bought a few $100s worth of ETH, and it only cost 50 cents to send it. So that was crazy. And then it hit my wallet like fast, which was actually surprising as well, because usually ETH is slow. But yesterday it was cheap and fast. But I don't see it being like that in the next bull run. But I've been stacking up a lot of ETH just because I have a lot of quant, and I feel like you got to have both.
Oh yeah, I think having both ETH, Quant, and a few others, I think Dot's going to make it through.
Dot. Mm-hmm.
I may be pulling out of my Atom position, even though it's not as much, just to put that into something else. Either I'm going to dump it all into Litecoin or I'm going to put it all into Chainlink.
The
Chainlink.
CC
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What
the
were you saying?
CCIP for Chainlink is crazy. That's why the price went up, because of the interoperability aspect of Chainlink. That's why the price action did what it did, because we finally got that for Chainlink, which is pretty good.
Yeah, it's like that's what we've been hoping for a while. Even though Chainlink's just the news about it has been pretty stagnant over the last 2 years. Not much outside of maybe 2021 have we gotten a lot of news about it. And then we get this big little caveat to help push us forward.
I think Quant and Chainlink are good ERC20s to hold. I mean, not that Quant relies on ETH, because it doesn't, but Chainlink doesn't either. It's just you got to have them and to be able to move them in your ledger and stuff like that. But to have ETH. But anyway, Link is going to do good. I see it doing good. It performed kind of weird last bull run, but I think it came through because I'm pretty sure before the bull run you could buy Chainlink at like cents in 2018 or 17. You could buy it for like 50 cents,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And if you scooped it in summer of 18 area, Just like Quant, if you were buying Chainlink and Quant, you'd be up significant. You would have made so much money last bull run.
Oh yeah.
If you would have bought Chainlink and Quant at the very beginning in 2017 and 18, you would have been up in like probably a millionaire.
Oh, definitely. Shout out to Dominic LeConte. Uh, thanks for the follow. Glad to have you in here. Really appreciate your support there. Um, yeah, it's definitely was a good buy then. It still is a good buy now, as even if it gets back to where it was 2 years ago, you're looking at a phenomenal return. Shout out to Phoenix. Welcome back in. Glad to have you in here too. One of our great supporters. Thanks for joining us today. Uh, only thing I'd probably say I would increase is we still got a lot of action that people want on Bitcoin, and I don't see what people are saying with the 150,000 mark, but I do see with it's going to get to 100,000, but it's not going to happen this bull run. We might, if all goes right, we might break the 75K mark just
You
because of the ETFs and all the hype around institutions buying up Bitcoin and everything.
So you think that that Bitcoin's not going to perform as well as it did last bull run?
No, because I think people are going to be going into other things. I
Like
think going
alts?
into like altcoins. I'm seeing more and more altcoins like Dot, Quant, XRP, and even some new ones that are popping up that are really low
I
that
kind
people are
of
trying to get into.
I kind of disagree at the same time because even though I'm mainly into alts and Ethereum, Bitcoin is like the gold standard that'll always be at the top. I feel like it'll always be at the top no matter what. Bitcoin.
And that could be very well true. So I could be off on the mark on this. You guys shout out to me if I'm wrong or right. If Bitcoin's gonna either
I'd
hit
say it'll always
75K
be
or
at the
break
top.
100.
It's gonna be around 100 something K. I think we're gonna because that's not that much over from the all time high. That's not even a double from the all time high,
No,
100K. And I just with all the liquidity and we talked about the other day. You were saying Bitcoin is the one everybody knows about when it comes to crypto. Like when you talk to anybody about crypto, they know Bitcoin. They just know, and it'll always be that way because Bitcoin's been around since '08. Like people have heard about it and throughout the media for years, and it's been called dead for years, and it's proved everybody wrong for so wrong. That's why
oh yeah,
Bitcoin will never it'll never fall off from number one. Now, will it be challenged? Yeah, ETH will be really close. It could potentially flip Bitcoin. That contradicts what I said, but it'll never fall off to where it'll go under number two. But I think even if ETH flips Bitcoin, it'll be for a short time. It's not going to stay like that. Like if it for some reason flips Bitcoin, it's because there's a lot of liquidity going into ETH for a short time. If NFTs are booming, or a DApp is booming like Quant or something like that, it's like that's when you're going to see ETH flip Bitcoin temporarily, but Bitcoin will climb right back at number one.
yeah. And just like I said, I could be very wrong on this, but shout out to John Doe. Welcome in. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. Shout out to Richard Connerly. Welcome in. Thanks for the support and your comment. You know this how. My thing about Bitcoin not performing better than the last bull run is based on investor sentiment and what retail investors have to spend. I don't think they have the money now to spend on it as they did last bull run and during the pandemic. So what they're going to do is they're going to look for alts that are going to give them a significantly higher return to get them more money. Because that's what everyone's trying to do is they're trying to get that moonshot in an instant, and that's what they're looking at. Now, if investor sentiment switches and they just start buying Bitcoin and ETH, and that's all they really buy, then we're going to see a huge run up on it, and it could break 100,000 in the
I
bull.
see it. I see ETH going to $10,000 as well, and it could break 12. It could potentially hit 12,000, but I see ETH for sure hitting 10,000 next bull run, like without a doubt. And I could be very wrong, but I'm like 95% confident ETH will go to 10K in 2025. I think in the early bull run, like I was telling Sal, remember in early 2021 when ETH was going crazy, we had a thing called Ethuary. People were calling it Ethuary because in February that year, ETH was just going crazy. It hit like 2K. People were saying 2,500, 3,000 by Valentine's Day. We're going to get that same type of action next bull run with ETH. Probably not around the same time, but pretty close. And it'll hit all time highs. And once ETH hits all time highs, I think we'll have a little pullback. And from there, we'll hit 10,000. And
Oh,
it would be later in the year, though. I'd say quarter three or quarter four. I don't think quarter
absolutely.
one and two ETH's going to hit 10K. I think it'll be the very end.
Oh, absolutely. I do think ETH could hit 10,000 and 11,000 just because it's low enough that people can perceive right now that dollar cost averaging in makes sense. But I just don't see because there's a lot of degenerate price predictions out there, and the big degenerate one is like you're looking at people are saying XRP to $50,
Nah,
Ethereum to 15,000. Big, I
nah.
think the highest Bitcoin I saw was like 287. Yeah,
15K is 15K is more realistic than 20,000, but I just think 10,000 and 10 to 11, 10 to 12 is more realistic for ETH. I
yeah.
think anything over 12,000 is kind of like a stretch for next run because I see the market valuation being at only 10 to 12 trillion. Even 10 to 12 trillion is still small for an asset class. You got to
Oh
keep
yeah,
that in mind too.
yeah.
And we're still infant. That's why people are saying. That's why I hear people saying we're still early because we're not as early as we were back then, but we're early in terms of how small the market cap is for a quote unquote asset class. Because, people can call it speculative gambling, but eventually sticks around long enough, it's going to turn into an asset class known as an asset class. Because right now, I agree, it is speculative. It is somewhat gambling, but it's the risk I want to take as a 22-year-old.
Exactly, and that's what I say. That's why like my overall crypto portfolio is not even as close as anything else I'm investing in. Shout out to Custom Game Room. To you, people don't realize the 1% is controlling everything. We need to invest in people, absolutely, and we need to invest in ourselves. And a lot of
Yes.
people aren't even investing in themselves right now. So hopefully that will change over time.
Yes, exactly. Because I want to invest in myself mainly once I, take profits. As your net worth goes up, your focus on yourself could also increase as well. Like when it comes to like things that you've always wanted to do, like health wise, or like because a lot of it is circumstantial with your situation. Like if you don't like your living situation, sometimes I'm not saying this for everybody, but sometimes habits could fall through.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes like bad times and times to where you feel flatlining. It's gonna happen, and money changes that in a way. Because if you're in a position you don't like and you come up on a bag, it's like your life changes, and you can focus on things that actually matter instead of money.
Oh, absolutely. And shout out to George DeWilby, one of our longtime supporters and someone who joined our Patreon. Uh, Thanks for all your support, buddy. I see bet going to 80 cents to a dollar. It's under 2 cents right now, and that'd be 40 to 50x profit. Yeah, it definitely should see some price action on this next bull run. I can't see it not really I can't see it underperforming, but it should do well. It should do well, especially since it seems to be kind of like with all those speed like XRP, XLM type coins, it seems to be moving in the people seem to have marked it into that sector, and it's growing. It's kind of growing in the same ratios as it. So I'm looking forward to seeing how well that coin does. Shout out to Dominic LeCount. Manipulation of the mass of the mass proportion on a global scale. And yeah, there's definitely some market manipulation there, and there always will be. There's always someone that will uh that will do that. Shout out to George Wilby again. So off of 25K investment, you're easily at 1 million. Yes, you could off of V Chain. I know that he's stacking his bags. He's set for a good bull run.
Who?
Uh, George DeWilby. I know that he's set for a real good bull run. So keep it going there. Shout out to Steve.eth. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate you joining us. Uh, Shout out to Custom Game Room. We need to get back to investing in our family. Some give someone give someone a citrus tree, citrus fruit tree. Hey, absolutely. We do need to invest in family and everything. I think we kind of got away from that. I think we got away from a lot of good values that helped us build that family's wealth, financial success, and not having to work as hard as we really thought we needed to.
We have. I've noticed that with a lot of people. People don't think about that when it comes to families. There's that strong aspect when it comes to how close people are, and like morals that'll actually enrich a family.
Exactly. Shout out to Extreme Mobile Pro. Glad to have you in here. Welcome in. Thanks for the support. Are we talking Forex? Um,
No.
I'm I've never been into forex. I know that when I worked in the trading sector, the guy that was kind of in charge of that area for the private banking and investments on that firm, it always looked stressful. So I never really dabbled in currency and forex trading. I just crypto's probably about as volatile as I'll get, but I just haven't really traded on it, so I can't really give you a lot of information on that. I'm sure there's a lot of other people I know. Shout out to a YouTuber named Q Banks. He does very well in forex trading, so I definitely go shoot his channel and follow him for that advice. 'Cause I just don't do forex trading. It's not something I do. Shout out to I am Deborah. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate you in here. Um, let's get over some go over my I'm gonna go over my portfolio as we always do every weekend, and of course I'm going over everything which I do from real estate, my businesses, crypto, and my stocks. Although I haven't bought any crypto, I haven't bought any stocks. They're just kind of sitting there. However, I will say this: I may be possibly selling uh, my position in Microsoft as I've had it since 2012 and have done really well in it. So that might be something I might let go. But as you can see here, I'm in Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Atom, Dot, Quant, AdShare, Link, and Litecoin. And I'm thinking about dropping Atom because I see more value in Dot, but I also see way more value in Link. But well, I'm still on the fence about it. So as of from last week's reading from episode 10, I am down 3% on my crypto portfolio, down from just shy of 600,000 to 584,000, about 15,000 loss. And stocks, I'm 0% nominal, like a $3,000 gain from last week. As you know, for my stock portfolio, I have Bank of America, NLY, which is a mortgage lending company, ORC, which is also another mortgage security company, Walmart, Coinbase, Healthcare Association, BlackRock, AT&T, Apple, Microsoft, Porch Moving Group. Shout out to Mama Lacey 35. Thanks for the follow. Really glad to have you in here. Thank you, and thank you guys for your support. Definitely really appreciate it. So, with that being said, I'm now at my personal pick portfolio at one point, just about 1.78 million with a gain of $3,100. So it's been nominal.
Is that
So, and
for
I'm not in
crypto?
any AI stocks. I'm sorry. What did you
Is
say,
that
Cody?
for crypto?
No, that's for my stocks.
Okay.
My crypto portfolio is down 15,000, down to 584,000 ish. So
Gotcha.
that, but we haven't been adding into anything. As you guys know from last week, I dropped Crow completely. So I'm not investing in Pro anymore, and I might be dropping Atom, and we'll see. I might be picking up XLM, VChain, and HBAR.
I
So
did the same thing with Atom. I kind of dropped it in a way for more quant. I bought like 20 quant with my Atom. So
absolutely, but you also guys gotta remember Atom. If you were staking Atom for the 20% or more through a DeFi wallet, uh, I would say I made a net gain throughout the bull market, and now that we're in a bull versus bear, or sorry, bear market. I don't know if I said bull market. I meant bear market. Throughout the last two bear markets, or bear market, last 2 years of it. Now that we're in the bear versus bulls, I don't think it's going to perform as well as maybe like H bar. I think H bar is a far better investment.
Adam will do
I've been
well, but
no, go ahead, Cody.
Adam will do well, but it's not going to do anything like, for example, like Ethereum or like Dot or mainly the blue chips.
Exactly. Uh, and now moving on, as you see, my private equity, which I got highlighted here, private equity that I invest in, there really is no price on it. So I'm only putting in the price that I last bought shares at. So I have Ripple, which was kind of averaging $68.95 a share. So that's 105, which is about as much is the biggest portion of it. I have about 9,000 in Uphold and about 25,000 in Cerebras, which is an AI company. So those are private equity firms. As you guys know, you have to be an accredited investor to do that, which is have $1 million or more in net assets after not counting your home, or some some places require you to also make $200,000 a year for a certain amount of time, as well as some other places also require have a stipulation of up to $3 million in assets after your home. So it depends on which way you go. I think Link to you can get in there with $200,000 a year for 3 years, or have the $1 million in assets. Shout out to Wally Newberg, one of our great supporters. Glad to have you in there. You have 1 million I can throw into my account so I can become accredited. Well, hopefully, if we all do this right, we should have a great bag on the bull run for the market and for stocks too. Um, but also in Betterment and Wealthfront, which two great things. I'm not paid to promote them. Shout out to Wally Newberg too. What's up, buddy? Glad to have you in here, and I know you'll get there. I know someday soon you'll get there, buddy. Keep working hard and keep dollar cost averaging and stacking your bags there, buddy. Uh, Buttermint and Wealthfront use an AI trading bot to do micro trades over the markets and move your positions in and out. So I only keep track on a monthly statement on there. So those two, it's about 1.7 million. So you're looking at uh total of these type of assets. Looking at about 4.2 million. Now, as you know, last week, unfortunately, I had to shut down my detail shop, so I took that off. I'm going to register that loss probably this year. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So I have my moving company. I have my construction company, which I also now am starting to collect myself paying. So I have my salary there at $380,000 a year, which really this all just happened really in the last like 12 months that I've been able to even start making this much. But this is what I've been paying myself. And then you have my properties, because a lot of my free cash I plummeted into properties. So I just recently purchased a little duplex in Joplin, Missouri. It wasn't really that special. It's kind of it's like one of those old buildings. Everybody's like, it's not modern. I don't like it. I bought it. It was 225,000. So we went ahead and added that to there. So far I have a total of 101 properties with 147 doors that are now up there. So that's quite a bit of money coming in. As you know, I reserve all of it because you got to pay taxes. You got to pay reserve money for fixing up places. Like, can't tell you how many people are selling their rental properties now because they didn't plan for replacing the water heater, fixing the roof, having a storm. If you guys have been following the news last month, Little Rock had a bad hurricane a few months ago. Not hurricane, I'm sorry, tornado. So a lot of people, they're selling their damaged rental properties, and Yeah, there's like even an apartment complex. It needs a lot of work, but you can get it for like $500,000 because it needs about $9 million worth of work. It's like crazy. Like it's basically just a lot now. But that goes to show you got to prepare for those scenarios and be able to rebuild your rental properties if something bad happens or you have a bad tenant. You need to replace equipment, washer, dryer, dishwasher, all that stuff. So, and as you can see here, this is what my estimated total net worth is. If I sold every single one of my companies standing today, those are what they're estimated at. So, with that said, I know Cody doesn't necessarily have the capability to share his portfolio, but he can certainly talk about it if you would like.
Yeah, so right now I'm currently going in on ETH and Quant, and those are my main ones. My goal is to have at least 7 to 10 ETH, and my goal is to at least have 100 Quant or more. And I have my goal is to get 1,000 Polkadot. I'm halfway there. So I got those three: Polkadot, Quant, and ETH. Those are my main bags, and those are what I believe will prosper next run.
Exactly. I know Cody's heavily focused on crypto, but as I said, once you get those big gains, if crypto is your biggest, the only thing you're investing in right now, and you get that big bull run, then take your money out and then go invest in real and rental properties, duplexes, triplexes, townhomes, inexpensive homes that you can get into that you can rent out and make steady income. I wouldn't say a rental property is passive income because you got to maintain it. You're the one that's got to answer the phone when the water heater breaks, the driveway needs to be fixed, the garage door needs to be fixed, or like the plumbing isn't working right. So it's not really passive, but it is a good way to earn steady, reliable income because, as you know, people do need houses, and I wouldn't try to get those new modern, like there's a lot of new modern houses, and it's just not, those aren't the things you should get into. You should get into ones that are just basic, what they're called starter homes. They're like 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath kind of homes. They're not very fancy. They're not very modern. They're not very desirable, but you can get them cheap, rent them out a little cheaper than the market, and guaranteed to have a good tenant in there. Because most people, even despite whether it's modern or not, most people will stay in those homes for a long time if the rent's cheap enough. Shout out to Crypto Currently. Thanks for the follow. Glad to have you in here. Now onto the crypto market as a whole. As you can see here, we're down 0.26% to 1.2 trillion in total valuation there. I'm still waiting on that 25% dip. It's not looking good with all the news that I keep hearing about freaking Binance. Like it keeps going. We have 75% of the liquidity in the crypto market, in the crypto space, is Binance. They're laying off people while at the same time turning around saying they're having record profits. So there's something going on there. But if something negative happens to Binance or any of the stable coins, it's pretty much we're guaranteed to get that 40 to 50% dip. But I just can't see Binance happening right now because they've been going through they went through the last couple years. They're still here. They're probably going to make it through this bull run, but you never know. I saw briefly someone. It was a video on Instagram. Someone was talking about how there's a whole bunch of wallets that are controlled directly by CZ, and they haven't been audited. So it could be that he's siphoning money out. Remember that Sam Bankman, he taught Bankman how to get into this market. So it's very curious that he's kind of set up in the same way as FTX.
Oh yeah, and Binance has always been shaky, but like 2013 with my Gox, you can say, "Oh, it's different. Oh, it doesn't matter." Well, if Binance collapses, and same thing with Tether, Crypto will find a way to survive. It will, and it'll hurt. The prices are gonna be stupid low. It'll hurt, but I mean, it'll find a way to make it through. It
Oh
always
yeah,
does. It always does.
it definitely will be. Shout out to the Catman. Uh, Definitely glad to have you in here. Thanks for your comment and support. I need a good strategy on these 40% weekly gains. Um, I don't know. I don't try to go weekly. Like weekly, I hardly even fluctuate that much. I'm not really doing daily trading and things like that. What I focus on is just investing in projects that I believe have a good that are undervalued right now and that no one's paying attention to that can run up in the next couple years, such as Quant, XRP, even some of the other coins like XLM. HBAR has probably the biggest potential for run up, but that's just my opinion there.
What did you said H bar?
Yeah, HBAR.
I like H bar, and you could be right on that, but I just see the main money moving towards ETH and Chainlink and Dot and projects like that. I see money for big money moving into those next round.
Mhm.
And H bar has institutional like enterprise focus, which is good, which is what Quant's focused on as well. And
Yeah,
it seems like it's a good one to have in your portfolio, especially since after this XRP case, you kind of get clarity on. But if they appeal, they appeal. But I doubt it'll go through, honestly.
exactly. And shout out to the Catman too. Why watch it slip away? Well, I do long haul investing, so I during my times where I am actively putting money in, I assume that I'm going to be at like between a 5 or 10% loss every week until that value is seen in there. Like a lot of my stocks, like when I was in Tesla and when it went public in 2012, I think it was in 2012. It I went in, it dropped. I went in more, kept dropping, kept putting
Did you
money in.
have people tell you that it was a bad investment?
Oh yeah, I had everybody tell me I was crazy. Don't invest. That man, Elon Musk is crazy. He doesn't know what he's doing. And when 2000, when 2020 hit, it was amazing. Made a ton of gains off of it. But I was a 10-year hold, just like with Microsoft. I was buying Microsoft at like I think it was at $34 a share in 2011, and I just dollar cost averaging, just kept buying and buying and
What's the
buying and
price
buying.
of it now?
Price of it now is $344.90.
So you made a 10x gain on it.
Yep, but that was like that took 10 years to make. So in 10 years of steady dollar cost averaging, it's like I got it up to. I remember it was around like 75,000 when I stopped dollar cost averaging into it, and then it went. Then it just shot up. I just held it, but also I've been making dividends off of it. They don't pay a lot in dividends, but I made it. I made quite a bit off of it. Let's hear. So shout out to Wally Newberg. Yo, I took profits for the first time yesterday. XDC. Figure I'd learn how to do it easy. Great. Glad that you are starting to learn how to make some good trades there. All right. Shout out to Cosmic Comic. Tons of Richard Hart coins like Pulsex and Hex. The masses are usually wrong about investments, like how most people hate Hex and Pulse Chain. Shout out to Custom Game Room. To you, we are facing a Great Depression situation going on. What's the best bet to deal with inflation? That one's a pretty long question in itself, and I'll try to answer it in the best way that I can. Um, if you're already got a significant amount of money, this is probably the best situation, especially if you own rental properties, because like inflation is going so crazy right now that properties I bought at the beginning of the year are already showing equity. Like it's just really weird. The problem with is inflation is that we have artificially suppressed inflation with the the oil reserve being dumped into the energy markets. So we're reducing the price of energy while increasing everything else is still increasing. We also got problems with inflation because we don't have people to work the traditional jobs to get stuff to where it needs to be, like trucking and welding, then mechanics and all that stuff. Because there's always say you don't want to be a mechanic, you don't want to be this, you don't want to be that. But the one job that's always been recession proof has been a mechanic. Now, next to my moving company is a mechanic. He just earned $40,000 in 1 week running his mechanic shop. I mean, and he's by himself. He works 18-hour days, but man, he is raking it in because people can't afford to buy cars, so now they're fixing them. The best bet for inflation, honestly, is we're going to get a crash. It's nowhere near Great Depression levels, uh, although we have institutions not falling, not just banks. Now, people were going crazy about the banks collapsing. Every year, about 200 banks shutter their doors. It's not a big deal. We've only had we actually had a record low so far this year at this time. I think like only 77 banks closed their doors. So we actually are pacing for a record low in the last 30 years of banks closing their doors. So it's really weird. Now, I know it's really weird for people to focus on those. Now, we do have a lot of mismanagement of money, and we got a lot of people that have moronic companies that are zombie companies that are kind of sucking up the free money. Now they're in that space where they can't operate. My suggestion to you guys how to deal with inflation is right now you should be putting your money into the stock market and building up your credit score so you can start buying rental properties. You're going to have to get them. People are like, well, the interest rate's at 5%. When I was turned 21, the interest rate was 12%. So we were nowhere near that, and people were still buying homes at a record rate. So now that the interest rates are, I think about 5%, something like that now. I think I can get like 5.8% on a mortgage and still do all right. So I would just do that, get the cash flow going, and then refinance. The thing that I have though is that I've already built up so many properties from being in the right place at the right time with good purchases that I was able to overcome the inflation through doing that. But the only way to really deal with inflation there, buddy, is one, stocks and crypto are going to take the hugest hit off of inflation. So real estate's the real only way to overcome that, or owning a really strong business like a distribution business or something like that, or like anything involved in healthcare, because those you can raise your rates with inflation, and that's how you can overcome inflation for yourself. So I hope that answers your question there. Custom game room, it's really hard to put on there. So I thank you guys for always for coming in there. Definitely appreciate you guys. A lot of comments coming through. Trying to catch up on all you guys. Shout out to cryptocurrently. I want Pulse and Hex, but can't get it because I'm in Vegas. I think a simple VPN will switch that for you, so you can get that. Shout out to Cosmic. So everyone told you it was bad. They're all wrong. The stocks. Well, you got to understand. When I started investing in stocks there, Cosmic Comic, it was the 90s. 90s was the record decade. It didn't even have the biggest Ponzi scheme, which was by Bernie Madoff, but it was a record time. Like when Ponzi schemes were at the highest was the 90s, because 90s was a boon year. So everybody was distrustful of stocks because everybody was saying, make this, make that, make like 100% gains, 50% gains off of stocks, and they're just taking people's money. You also had boiler room tactics with like big firms like Rothschild's trading firm at the time, where they would just burn out these worthless stocks to retail investors and suck it up and exit the liquidity and crush the liquidity, so everyone got stuck with their bags. You also had um a lot of just degenerate third world investing and stripping of resource. It was a very chaotic time, and people were very distrustful of the stock market as a whole. But that was right when we also had like a lot of young people, and at the time I would be considered, I was between 16 and 21 then, and people were starting to pick their heads up, starting to learn about investing, starting to learn it rather than just hate it. So it just takes time to get past that. Shout out to XRP King, good name there. Pi Network, use code Godfire277. Yeah, there's a lot going on with Pi Network, although I have to do a whole video on Pi to really go over it. Although I've been mining it for the last 3 years. Um, Oh, okay. Shout out to crypto. Currently, while I was reading how to buy Hex and Pulsing and it wasn't listed, you have to go to one of those like Pancake Swap or Swap networks to do it. So that's the only way. It's not listed on the main exchange. Although I'm pretty sure there's a couple out there that have it on there. Shout out to Custom Game Room. I'm just worried about the fact that people won't be able to pay rent or afford food and bills. Yes, although I'm worried about that too, but I do see like I remember McDonald's for three people was like $60 last year, and but now it's like 30, but still $30. Like McDonald's was a place you go to when you had only like $10 in your bank account. Like it wasn't a place where you're supposed to be able to get a burger, a fry, and a drink for like $3. That's McDonald's. They weren't supposed to be $30, so that's very alarming. However, it's going eventually this bubble will pop, rent will go down because unfortunately the people who bought those rental properties, most of them, even though we hear a lot of institutions buying them, they only bought less than 3% of the actual whole market. Most rental properties are owned by someone who owns like five or six. And because from 2014 to 2022 we had a shit ton of real estate gurus, they were everywhere, so they were pitching to people to buy rental properties by any means necessary. So you had a lot of people that took a cash advance on their credit cards to make down payments on homes to rent them out. So they're trying to raise their rates, their rental rates, as their credit cards are and their interest rates are raising, and they're just not outpacing it. So then they're collapsing. So, but eventually we will see a bubble and it will even out, and then we'll start to get positive action against inflation where the value of the dollar will start to come back. Let me get it here. Shout out to Steve.eth. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. I appreciate it. Cody and I just talk about this all day, usually through text and over phone. We just put a camera in front, but we're glad to have you guys joining in. Shout out to Crypto Granny. Glad to have you in here. Thank you for your support. Let me just see. I'm trying to see which ones are actually questions and not. Masses are usually wrong, is my point. Masses hate pulse chain. Well, that's usually true. Usually they're
I
wrong.
hate Pulse Chain, because I've done research on it and it's all BS.
Like I know that the masses generally are wrong, can go wrong in the wrong direction, but sometimes they can go right. But it really depends on what's going on in the whole macro sphere to figure out if it's capable if they're wrong or right. Shout out to Cyber MX. You think quantitative easing will affect Bitcoin having in a bad way? Um, well, it's definitely going to slow the growth of it as people fear the worst and pull out of assets. Um, with quantitative easing, we're still going to see it go up. I'm anticipating interest rates to go up to 7.5% for the Fed. So I'm not looking for any easing on it, but quantitative easing is like a rough jackhammer way of trying to slow the economy down and kind of forcibly burst a bubble so we take a hit, but not that bad of a hit. I mean, right now they're cheering themselves saying, we did a soft landing, all this nonsense, but in the end, it's all been government manipulation so
That's
far.
only for the public eye. They only do all that just for the public.
Yes, but they're raising the rates one to burn out companies that shouldn't be around, and anyone that's been over leveraged. Like if your debt is more than your annual income for your business, then you're probably not going to be around for longer with the interest rates increasing. But I still don't think it's going to slow down crypto. I just think it just means a longer year of dollar cost averaging in, and then we'll start to get the bull run that we should off of the Bitcoin halving. Shout out to Wally Newberg, Airweave or Filecoin, which is a better investment. Um, my opinion is looking like Filecoin is really a little bit more sturdy. But what are some of your thoughts, Cody?
I would say Filecoin.
I haven't really been paying attention to Airweave, but I like Filecoin a little bit more just because there's a little bit more big money involved in it. But either one seems to be holding the test of time. So I would, I mean, we're not even close to its initial coin offering on Airweave. What? So it's hard to say, but either one's a good bet. But I'm leaning more towards Filecoin there, buddy. Shout, this is not good then from Cybermax. This is not good. It's going to get uglier. It's going to get worse before it gets better. It's just going to get uglier. Oh, I can't even speak today. It's going to get bad. Like it's going to get bad before. No, it's always darkest before dawn, but it's going to get rough. Like I kept telling people, it's going to be rough in the next coming years, and then we're going to have like 5 good years of boom years, and then we're going to see probably a real big collapse coming because we've been kicking that can down. What we should have done is in 2008, let the whole system crash, let people lose money, let banks lose money, let wealthy people lose money. And when that happens, we will actually have the full reset we've been looking for. Shout out to Cosmic Comic. I've done the research and it's all BS. How about some actual facts? Buddy, tell us the exact details. That is BS.
We should we should honestly talk about pro- actually better projects because again, like I said, it's a every stream. It's the same people that try to turn it into a hex stream. So we should move on to another topic.
Well, let me just put it this way. I'm very wary of anything that guarantees a gain and says no matter what the market's doing, you're going to guarantee a gain. So that's usually my red my red
I'd rather talk about like the longevity of Ethereum or layer twos. I'd rather talk about there's so much other things to talk about, and especially with XRP and its appeal, like that could happen. That's very likely, but I mean, not very likely. That's very unlikely. I'm sorry, but it could happen. And there's other things in the crypto market that are happening too. You know, you have things like ad shares and gaming crypto that could be a very good thing to invest in for next bull run because I think gaming coins like Engine, you know, Decentraland, ad shares, those type of coins, those are really good ones to hold. Like if you can find a good price on them.
Okay. Shout out to Cosmic Comic. Just tell us the BS that is pulse chain should be easy. Well, I guess it wouldn't be what's in your portfolio if we didn't talk about freaking pulse chain hex and the whole that whole area, because it seems
That's
like
what's
every
that's what's
Sunday.
in their portfolio. But I don't want to turn this stream into a hex stream, so I'd like to talk about something else.
Okay, well, like I said, I know that we keep delaying that what is hex, but I might as well just do a deep dive video on it after I do this.
Because it's the same people that come in here and do that, or they make alt accounts.
But hey, it's like I take it. Sometimes you could be like my dad. My dad had an opportunity to invest in Microsoft
But
in his founding
this
days.
isn't anything. That's not anything like that. This is blatant. Like this is on the verge. It's like Tether, a house of cards.
Yeah, I'll have to go over my notes and everything in that because we are coming to the end of the live stream. But it wouldn't be a live stream without talking a little bit about Hex and Pulse Chain. So, and I know like we got quite a few of our moderators that are against Pulse and Hex and Richard Hart.
The way I see it, I just don't want to think or talk about it. I'll just let it do its thing, and only time will tell. It's stupid to just sit here and talk about it. Only time will tell. But anyway, next subject.
So, okay, Cosmic Comic, let's go live Thursday. I'll help you out. Well, let me see my schedule because we have to see. My moving company is really busy, but I could probably make an evening live. Let's see here. Let me just check my schedule there.
There should be a dedicated stream for that, and that's it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I should be available around 6-7 o'clock. I do mornings. I couldn't do that morning. I have to be out on the trucks. Friday I could in the afternoon. Friday. Then I could do Wednesday morning if that works for you, Cosmic Comic. I can do Wednesday morning.
Hey, Sal, I am going to take a shower real quick. I'll be listening though.
Okay. I can do Wednesday morning for you. I think that'd probably be the best day. Okay, we can do Wednesday. I don't know what time you're on. I'm on Central Time, so we can definitely aim for just say 8 o'clock Central Time. I hope that works. I don't think I have anything on Wednesday other than just being in the office. Meet you at the flagpole at 3 p.m. That's definitely old school. It's like be there, be square. Everyone circles around. You better put up or shut up. Oh man, let's see Wednesday. Make sure I have. Yep, Wednesday I'm free. All right, Wednesday I am free. I'm gonna put that over there. So yeah, I will be in the office Wednesday. I know I'll try to be up. We'll say 8 o'clock because I know I won't be done on Tuesday until probably like midnight Tuesday. But I'll get up. I'll make sure I get up. I get up for my businesses at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll get up for this. Bring your A game. Hexicans don't mess around. That means you, Cody. Well, we'll all bring our A game. I'm gonna make sure I have plenty of coffee and can be fully committed to that stream there, buddy. I know someone else came in here. There we go. Shout out to Custom Game Room. I'm interested in 3D printed homes. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about them, especially they're doing tiny homes right now. And there's a lot of focus around tiny homes right now. They're more energy efficient. I know a lot of Gen Zers are into tiny homes because they tend to be in the $30,000 to $50,000 range. You can get a small property. You don't have to maintain them as much, and you don't use up as much energy. To me, it's really weird because I always grew up in the houses were getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I want at least a 2,000 square foot house. But with that said, I see the potential in them going, especially for areas in third world countries, 3D printed homes are going to be making bank. So it's definitely a good investment to get into. I just don't know of any companies that have gone public or doing private equity shares where small time accredited investors can get in. But it's definitely something we should definitely keep an eye out on and look forward to. Shout out to Cosmic Comic. Uh, facts, facts, facts. Nothing I like. I hate our age, so don't use his stuff. Because watch this. I did research into XRP and it's total trash. Just is. Stay away. That's not fair to XRP. That is very true. I mean, you have to look at everything with a very unbiased approach before you can make your decision on investing. My thing is that it's just when you guarantee a percentage gain, and trust me, I've seen this in stocks and in portfolio managers where they would talk to, oh yeah, I'm going to guarantee you 9%, 10% gains, guarantee you better than the market. You're never allowed to do that. You're always supposed to say, well, this is my performance and this is what I can do for you. Let me see if I can invite you really quick. Remember, guys, I am a Gen Xer, so I suck at technology. Let me see how I can invite. I think I almost got it there, buddy. Hold on. Hold on. I figured it out. Invite sent. Hallelujah.
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's up there? Oh, let me get this volume up here. All right, now I can hear you, buddy. What's up, buddy?
Talking is so much easier than texting on chat.
Exactly, especially since everybody's cutting into your conversation there.
And it's all limited too on the characters you can use.
Absolutely. So go ahead, buddy. Go ahead. We're all
just
here.
Really quick, because obviously this is a huge topic, and that's why I think maybe Wednesday or scheduling would be better. But for the guaranteed thing, really quick, what that is it's guaranteeing returns in the terms of hex. So if the price of hex were to go to literal zero, the value would be zero, but you would still be guaranteed a certain amount of hex back in returns. Because you can guarantee that number, you just can't guarantee the value that would be the USD. And it's a little strange too, because the percent yield that you get back is also user based. So if the users of the system, of the mining system, start ending early and lying to the network and getting penalties, the people who don't lie to the network and don't get penalties actually get more back, because they get the fees from the people who are lying about how long they'll actually stake their assets. So the guarantee is only in terms of hex, and it does change based on user behavior. But there's an about percentage that is guaranteed in the form of inflation, because that's where the rewards come from. It comes from the hex supply inflating, just like how Bitcoin would inflate or anything else would inflate. Like, you go and you mine gold, there's more gold in the market. That's gold inflation.
And okay, so I get everything that you're saying there. And it's kind of hard to compare gold because we can't make more gold. We can only have whatever's existing out there. And being that how physics makes gold, so I mean we could go all into that. The reason why when you say guaranteed returns is according to securities. Now this is just coming from someone who's taken a Series 7 test and has been on FINRA, and I've been through all of this. Is that I can't even anything that I'm giving as a value, because even though you're giving hex and you're guaranteeing a return on the amount of hex, but there is a value attached to that. So like I couldn't guarantee you returns. Say I can't guarantee that I'll give you this exact amount of gold, this exact amount of silver, this exact amount of stock, this exact amount of money back, this exact amount of anything. That's where it gets kind of really, really wishy-washy right there, because and is that right there makes it fail the Howey test. So it's like I'm guaranteeing an outcome regardless of any amount of scenarios. So like if I go and I do a portfolio and I say no matter what's going to happen in the market, you're always going to guarantee a 10% return on your stocks, not just in stocks, but I'll get not just in Microsoft value going up, but I'll give you more Microsoft. So I can't do that.
Nope.
That's where it's that because as right now as the regulation stands, that's where that's how they see it. That's how every licensed financial person sees it as a just. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's how it is perceived. Now I always say if you've watched any of my crypto picks or anything, I wait till I always declare something a problem until I have like more red flags in a Chinese parade. So right now I only have the one, and I can't really say anything because I haven't been back and forth. So like I said, you still can trade on it and make money, but I can't tell if oops, did he go out? I think he did. Oh,
Wait, I'm here.
okay, there we go.
Sorry.
No worries, no worries. Like I said, there are people trading on it, and you can make trades. I try to tell people there are people that knew Madoff was a scam and still made money off of Madoff, but you just got to be very careful about how you go into it. But at the same time, you have to talk to everybody and interview everybody.
So it's like no one is like guaranteeing anything on trades, right? Like we're talking about just the mining aspect is where the guarantees come. And if I guaranteed you just hypothetically 10,000 hex, and you got the 10,000 hex, that guarantee, which by the way, you yourself are the miner, right? So the guarantee comes from you. You are guaranteeing to yourself that you are collecting rewards. It all comes from you in the smart contract. There's no entity, there's no third party, and it's not Richard Hart. There's no admin keys in Hex. Richard Hart can't go in there and do anything. But let's say that the 10,000 Hex that you guaranteed yourself was worth $0. How much could you sell it for? Probably $0, right? Like if it was worth absolutely nothing. So Richard Hart, Hex.com, nothing has ever guaranteed you a price return. It has only ever guaranteed you assets. And the way that it works is, so if I have 10,000 Hex that I bought and I want to burn it out of existence, because I'm doing that, I'm taking buy pressure off of the market, and that helps other people retain the value of the Hex that's not off the market. And I get to choose however long I want to put it off, right? So it's me promising for X amount of time based on my own decisions to pay myself my own rewards. It's all done through me. And so the return guarantee is me guaranteeing that I will keep my money here and I will pull X amount of rewards out. It has nothing to do with anybody else. So there's not someone promising you anything. It's just yourself, and that value isn't even in terms of USD. The guarantee is in terms of Hex, and that's super important when looking at the Howey test. And the Howey test is for like traditional finance. Crypto, I think we can all agree, crypto is a little more advanced than like traditional finance, and the Howey test is just the best thing that we can put up against it. And even that being said, Hex has gone under trial many times by the SEC and by many lawyers on live stream, and they get absolutely wrecked. They can't stand up against the real information about how real crypto works, which is Hex, I believe. But I have to go. This was just a quick thing. Thank you so much for having me on. I do want to go further into this. I just wanted to explain the guaranteed part.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. No problem. Glad to have you on here. But to his mining. Mining isn't a guarantee. Mining can be considered as income for labor that was done for mine. You did the work, so now you got to be compensated for your time. So that's how that is.
A paycheck, right? Like if you work, you get guaranteed hours and guaranteed rates. I mean, that's just kind of the same if we're talking about labor in the crypto market.
Yes, that's where that falls under. So And Cosmic Comic is right, guys. Like cryptocurrency is a vastly different. So you got to remember, for most of human history, it's been currency to asset. Now you have something that's not quite a currency, not quite a traditional value asset. So it's just kind of in the middle there, and we only have
Yeah.
two agencies that do the two determined things that we know of, because we know what these are, and we've been using them for thousands of years, and everybody kind of has a mental image of what those are. Then we have crypto in the last 10 years, which is kind of in the middle, taking from both but being neither at the same time. So that's why it's so difficult for regulators, for people to understand. And everybody, you got to understand, the people who are in charge and make the regulations on this don't even know how to do JavaScript for a website. So they have no idea what's going on. I mean, we could all look back to the ridiculous video of Gensler on staking. So there's a lot that needs to be learned. And unfortunately, only us can change that by voting in people that understand this. That's the only way it's going to get resolved. But with that said, thank you, Comic Cosmic or Cosmic
For
Comic.
sure.
I'm sorry. Glad. Well, I'll see you Wednesday,
Comic
definitely.
Cosmic or whatever.
Okay. All right. But
And for Wednesday too, just to prep everyone for Wednesday, like where I came from the XRP community. I still hold some XRP, right? So I've switched my mental because of new facts and information. But what I absolutely just can't stand is when we try to invest on emotion. Like I hate Brad Garlinghouse, so I refuse to invest in anything that he's in. That's not a real investor. Like you need to have real facts, real evidence. And if Richard Hart is a scammer, you can point at exactly what he did to scam somebody anywhere and actually explain and define it. We will go over Ponzi schemes and we will go over MLMs and how Hex is exactly the opposite of all of that. But that's obviously like a further like deep dive. But all I'm asking is that we actually stick to real facts and info, not just bullshit how I feel about somebody. Because that's just not fair to XRP. That's not fair to Hex. That's not fair to anyone listening who's trying to better themselves in this space. Like you and me, we're already good. But people who like don't know what they're doing, but they want to learn. So let's actually teach them.
actually, absolutely, and always more information, the better for investing. So I know Cosmic Comic has to go, but we really appreciate him for dropping in. So
Facts.
definitely look forward to that stream on Wednesday with you. So let me get caught up on some of these people here. I know you guys have been commenting in. Let's just make it real quick. Shout out to Taco Man. XRP is dropping. Do you think it will go up? It will probably go up after the fears of the SEC trying to go back to case appeal the case for you. But it's still a good investment. I'd still dollar cost average in. But as of right now, like I said, I'm just on a hold period for any purchases and any investment. Shout out to Custom Game Room 2. How can you use it to make a purchase? I remember Enron. Yeah, Enron was pretty bad, but that was just involved with cooking the books and really showed how we really needed huge regulation in these accounting firms and everything. And shout out to Custom Game Room 2 again. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. Shout out to Knowledge. Don't want anything to do with Hex. Later, bro. No Hex for me. And like I said, it's for some people, it's for not. But if you want to join in on the live stream on Wednesday morning, you definitely can. Shout out to Joe's Move. Wait for 50 to 63 for XRP. It's coming. That could. I'm anticipating a good 20% drop with the fear, but we never know, as big institutions are buying it as well, and it just keeps kind of pushing it higher. And hopefully we can get to some good levels on dollar cost averaging and Christmas. Shout out to Custom Game Room to you. I like how you don't dismiss people even if you disagree. Yeah, it's no point in dismissing someone that you disagree with. That's part of the problem with every person right now, is that if they disagree, a lot of people, if they disagree with your stance politically, business wise, religion wise, all it does is it creates a divide. You can't fully understand someone until you listen to their side of the story. Like I said, you gotta listen to every side. It's kind of like how a lot of like, I mean, we're not that type of channel. We really talk finance, but this is a kind of a good example. It's kind of like how people are against the manosphere and this red pill stuff, and then some people are on the other side. But the thing is that none of them really sit down, calmly observe, or at least the ones that are always on, like always in the news. Shout out to Logan, glad to have you in here. Welcome back, buddy. Hope you're having a wonderful day chasing that bag. It's kind of like one of those things. It's just, yeah. Good morning to you too, buddy. Have a great day. I'm about ready to make myself some breakfast after this stream and go get my Sunday started. Uh, it's kind of like one of those things. Like I just see people going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. No one's really just sitting down and saying, "Okay, I understand why you say that, but this is how I think." Okay, that's great, but this is what I think we could do to do better. Like no one's really talking about it. It's just that this is what I see, this is what I believe. That's and you're wrong. And then the other person says, "Well, no, you're wrong." And then it goes back and forth. So, like I said, I may disagree with there's a lot of crypto people I disagree with, not just Hexicans, but there's a lot of people you that I put out on and I say this is obviously a scam, and of course they want to argue back. So it's just the way things are sometimes, and you gotta roll. You gotta be able to see their side, and if I can't see your side, then I can't argue effectively against you because I have to see where you're coming from and why you're making your position. Shout out to NG Dubs, one of our great followers on YouTube. It's an average percent APY, not guaranteed. Dot has the same thing on their staking side. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, you're staking for the network, not really, and for the security of the network. So it's kind of work, not really. It's technically work and labor, not really like a guaranteed return. But it people will see what they see. As like I said, as the current people in charge, they see staking as like a savings account, and saving accounts have to be regulated. So that's how they see it as. It's really really interesting as to how they see it and how they want to proceed with it, I guess. But with that said, we've been on a little longer than I wanted to today. We're really great. Glad to have you guys in. And as always, just like a Cosmic Comic came on live, you guys are welcome to if you want to. Just research out to um, and hope you just reach out and we can be happy to have a chat. I'm more than willing to talk to anybody about finances, business, real estate, whatever you want to talk about on the stream. Shout out to Custom Game Room. Have a great day. You too, buddy. Hope you do the small investments around you to make the world a better place. Absolutely, got to plant those seeds and really help grow and everything. Because my goal is with my business is that if I can change someone's life in helping them understand their finances, understand their position in the world, and change their life for the better, then I've done my job, and I want to pay it forward to everyone else that has helped me. So I've been helped, so I'm trying to help everyone else. But thank you guys. Thank you guys for the likes and shares. Thank you all for coming in on this live on this Sunday morning. Really appreciate you in here. That's definitely been quite a chat. I know that we got a little heated discussion about Hex and Pulse Chain and Richard Hart, but hey, people, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I'm more than happy to sit there and listen and go on from there. But thank you guys, and thank you so much. Like and subscribe if you want to join in. Um, if you want to help support the channel, we're on YouTube. Also, all replays of all lives are on Rumble and YouTube, so you can definitely go there, go to the live side, and watch those replays if you'd like. I don't take anything down; everything stays up there. Hopefully, I don't think we do anything too spectacular over here for YouTube to take us down. So it is what it is. But we're also on Rumble too, so they're all there as well. And if you guys want to do a little bit more support, you can definitely go to our Patreon, join our Patreon. You can access direct questions, get access to our Discord, get the exclusive content, premiere content. I have those interviews coming with a couple, with 5 people. I'm hopeful. I got 2 kind of on the fence, 3 there. We're just trying to get the timing right. 1 in August, 1 in September, 1 in October, 1 in November, and 1 in December. And those interviews, kind of podcasts will only be on Patreon until August of next year, where season 1 will go to YouTube and season 2 will be on the Patreon. So with that said, guys, thank you guys for all your support. I hope you guys chase that bag. Also, make sure you do your research. Don't invest in anything you don't understand. And as always, never invest your life savings. It's never good to put that much risk. Only risk the money you're willing to lose. Shout out to Luis Jose. Glad to have you in here. Thoughts on Chainlink? As we said earlier in the stream, it's definitely a good bet for your portfolio coming bull run. They did a lot of work around interoperability and having things being networked with multiple blockchains. So they definitely are working very hard to give value there. I definitely have it in my portfolio. I'm definitely upping the value of it in my portfolio. So stay tuned for that. I also will do a full video on Chainlink too. So stay tuned for that as well. But thank you guys. I'm going to check out here. I want you guys to have a wonderful day and stay safe out there, and always chase that bag. Thank you guys, and I will check you guys later.